Welcome to my channel. Like always, I bring you important crypto events of the day so you don't miss anything. So without any further ado, here are the events for today. Today's best headlines. Russia bullish on Bitcoin. In a desperate attempt to send money across borders, Russia finds an answer in cryptocurrencies, but will it do any good? China to airdrop digital yuan. Airdropping cryptocurrencies does work, but can China's move to airdrop its digital yuan work and push citizens towards its adaptation? Only 1.9% of Turks invest in crypto. The report finds the majority of Turks do not find crypto to be a reliable form of investment and would choose gold. Can crypto companies change that? GoblinTown NFTs skyrocketing. The free-to-mint GoblinTown NFTs are now worth $50 million. Will the prices go even higher, or should investors be worried? The Central African Republic gets a red warning from World Bank. As expected, the World Bank is not a big fan of the Central African Republic making Bitcoin its legal tender. Can CRA do anything about this? Russia bullish over crypto. Of course, when you are badly sanctioned by the West for your aggressive policy and actions towards your neighbor, you have to find different ways through which you can revive international payments. Welcome to the Kremlin's post-Ukraine invasion dilemma. Stripped off SWIFT cross-border payments system and large entities being sanctioned, Russia's options to conduct business with its international partners have gotten extremely limited, and it wants a way out, and there cannot be a better alternative than Bitcoin, which frankly, many, including myself, saw it coming. According to a report published by Interfax, Russia's so-called independent news service, the discussions on using Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are ever-growing, with many stakeholders vouching for them. And this is exactly what Ivan Chebeskov, who works for the Ministry of Finance, said. He stated, "If the digital currency is recognized as property, in principle, within the framework of barter transactions with such digital currency, it will be possible to carry out operations on foreign economic activity." You know what's interesting? Not long ago, before the invasion, Russia was actually thinking of banning crypto mining and had no plans to accept cryptocurrencies. Now, thanks to the global slap of sanctions that has limited and crippled Russia's traditional payment means, it has nowhere else to go than to read Satoshi Nakamoto's white paper. There is no denying that cryptocurrencies will benefit Russia because they are clearly high-growth assets, but we all know the volatility associated with them. So the risks could not be even higher, and this precisely is why I think Russia did not immediately jump towards the crypto bandwagon, and in fact, is analyzing its every move. On the other hand, Moody's Investor Service highlighted an important area, saying despite cryptocurrencies' increased usage, their transaction volume is small and have low liquidity, which will prevent any nation-state from using it as a means for international payments settlement. Keeping this in mind, Russia's options are quite limited, and the sooner it realizes, the better. China to airdrop digital yuan. Coming towards Beijing, the country that took a 360 degrees turn on cryptocurrencies is now going big on its digital yuan and wants more citizens to use it than the traditional physical version of the yuan. Interestingly, to achieve this, China has come up with the idea of airdrop, which is simple yet effective, at least in the case of cryptocurrencies. China is dividing the airdrop into different phases, and the first city in which it will do so is the city of Shenzhen, often considered the Chinese Silicon Valley, and will do an airdrop of 30 million digital yuan. China says this will also help to revive consumer spending amidst the pandemic-hit economy, but clearly it knows very well that once people start shifting towards digital currencies, there is no coming back, largely due to the convenience it brings. To achieve the airdrop, China has directed local banks with Shenzhen's Municipal Bureau of Commerce. The airdrop will be dropped offline as well, in a form of a lottery, through envelopes containing a small amount, which will be given to the winners who will either get 88, 100, or 128 digital yuan. Not much, but hey, no one hates free money. Chinese authorities believe a digital yuan will do them good in two ways. One is through its potential to help advance its economy by becoming more digitized. and secondly, to use it as a method to curb the people's interest in cryptocurrencies, because apparently people do not know what's the difference between a CBDC and a cryptocurrency. CBDCs have long been debated if they come close to cryptocurrencies or not, and the simple answer to this is that they don't. The entire premise of cryptocurrencies is to let our money be in our hands, and the central bank digital currencies do exactly the opposite, since they are just the digital version of a nation's currency, and Chinese authorities know this very well. There is still a large number of Chinese people who invest in cryptocurrencies and believe in their future, so I find it interesting that the Chinese efforts to make its citizens forget cryptocurrencies exist by offering a digital yuan as a mere joke. Only 1.9% of Turks invest in crypto. Looks like the Turks are not a big fan of crypto after all, despite lira crashing at an all-time low. Recently, a study was conducted by a survey that found out the majority of Turks simply do not wish to invest in cryptocurrencies and would rather choose something that is less volatile, and this is exactly why 42.9% of people conducted in the survey vouched for gold. Additionally, the second most preferred investment that Turks prefer is real estate, because over 27.4% vouched for real estate investment. Of course, this comes as not a big surprise for many. There are some Turkish-led crypto startups, but their numbers go quite low. The major reason why Turks do not opt for cryptocurrencies has largely to do with the high volatility that surrounds them, as that is exactly what was reported in the survey. When lira started to crash, many had hoped Turks would opt for stablecoins, and some did. However, the majority ran towards dollars and other foreign currencies because they are stable and can be readily used as a means of payment. The Turkish real estate sector is doing really well, and it's no wonder this is why the majority opt for it as a second option of investment. Turkey also allows foreign investment in its real estate sector by offering citizenship to investors if they buy a property in the country. This has also led to the price increase because the majority of the investors can sell their properties to foreign investors at a really good rate. We all know that cryptocurrencies are a risky business, and in the case of Turkish investors, the risks only grow because not only their currency is losing value at a much faster pace, but they also do not want to put their savings in an overall risky asset and could lose the majority of its value overnight, as seen in the case of Terra Luna incident. The Turkish government did share some plans to regularize its non-regulated crypto market, as it was promised soon to be debated in the parliament. As of yet, that does not appear to have led to any positive results. As regulations are unclear, this also makes Turkey a non-friendly place for crypto exchanges to go and attract more investors. GoblinTown NFTs skyrocketing. Image source. Recently, a non-fungible token collection known as GoblinTown, which is a free-to-mint collection, has emerged out of nowhere and is already capturing millions in sales. The NFT project, just within a week, has successfully been able to record $22.58 million in sales and surpassed some of the blue-chip NFT projects, such as Other Deeds. Similar to other projects, GoblinTown is no different. It also comprises 9,999 algorithmically generated avatars, but the fans seem to be loving it as they simply cannot stop trading them. The major reason I think it got so much attention is that they were minted for free, which attracted a huge amount of users, and over time, that user base grew to become real-world buyers, leading its price to grow over time. Initially, their floor value was somewhere around 0.2 ETH to 0.5 ETH. In just a few days, it increased 458% to 2.79 ETH. What's even more mind-boggling for me is that the project did not do any big marketing campaigns, but in fact, the word about its free-to-mint launch was spread on social media by a very few users. However, as the word got spread, it lit a fire, and today, GoblinTown is well on its way to becoming a blue-chip NFT project. For now, there are rumors that Yuga Labs, or the famous American DJ Steve Aoki, may be behind GoblinTown NFTs, but so far it just feels like a rumor. I have always found the NFT market to be interesting and filled with new adventures every passing day. However, with new projects emerging and doing good within a few hours, not sure about anyone else, but they do ring an alarm for me. Now, more than ever, The entire crypto market needs to proceed with caution, and this is precisely what I will say about this project, because no one knows if GoblinTown NFT will be the next Squid Games token or not. Let me know what you think in the comments below. The Central African Republic gets a red warning from World Bank. Lastly, in today's news, the World Bank openly says it disapproves of the Central African Republic's move to make Bitcoin its legal tender. For those who don't know, the Central African Republic has plans to set up a crypto hub after making Bitcoin its legal tender. In a statement by President Faustin Archange Touadéra, the country's first crypto initiative is dubbed Songo and is aimed to make the country the African hub of cryptocurrencies with the creation of a crypto economic zone very similar to what UAE has in mind. You'll be surprised to know the president also said, quote, "A formal economy is no longer an option," end quote, when the majority of other countries are fighting to maintain their currency's sovereignty. However, the World Bank has immediately fought back over the move of the Central African Republic's president and has asked officials to first fully consult with the relevant authorities to make sure there is a full consensus on the potential implications of this move. The statement is nothing new, and if you have been following the IMF versus El Salvador, you would know this is only going to get intense, because not once or twice or even thrice, IMF has almost a dozen times warned El Salvador of the potential drawbacks of making Bitcoin its legal tender, but so far, El Salvador is sticking with its promise. Since the crypto market is volatile, there is no denying that there are some concerns that also revolve around people using them for illicit purposes. I think now, more than ever, regulations are important, but that does not mean regulations should compromise on the very purpose that cryptocurrencies are made for, allowing them to complement a nation's fiat. For now, the Central African Republic, just like El Salvador, is sticking to its promise of making Bitcoin the country's legal tender, despite the crypto market fighting bears. If the bear market continues for a few more months, how these two pro-Bitcoin nations respond would be interesting to see.